been wanting to make a prop like this for years, but every time I looked into it or thought about it, it just seemed a little too complicated. And honestly, it kind of was. But don't worry, I'm going to make all the mistakes so that you won't when you make yours. Let's get started. So I have all sorts of supplies and stuff laying around for Halloween prop builds, but I knew if I didn't head to the store and get the specific things that I needed for this, it was going to be a nightmare. And because of that, I decided I would run over to Home Depot and grab the essentials for pretty much any Halloween animatronic build. I picked up a bunch of PVC fittings, some PVC glue, which I never use, but because this project is going to be moving, I figured the parts that don't move should probably be glued together so it doesn't just completely fall apart. And I also grabbed 2 lengths of PVC, one longer one that was 3/4 inch and one shorter one that was 1 inch. Typically I'd use one of those PVC like cutter thingies, but my shop is a complete disaster as I get ready for this Halloween party. I have to take a lot of the stuff from our barn and shove it into there, and getting back in there to find the PVC cutter seemed like a huge pain, so I opted for the readily available circular saw. I don't know about you, but I use my own body to figure out the lengths of all of these PVC pieces, which means all of these guys end up with extremely short legs. Alright, so once I had all of these pieces together, I went back and glued them except for the torso. This is where the movement's going to come from. So I had to make sure I figured out what parts to glue and what parts not to. To create the movement, I was going to have to make the bottom half of this from 1 inch PVC and the top half from 3/4 inch PVC. Where the fittings for each come together, it'll be able to rotate back and forth nice and loose. 1 inch coupling, and this is a 3/4 inch coupling, but the way they sit, it's like loose. I figured this out while I was standing in Home Depot, just sliding pieces of PVC into one another to see which ones was loose or too tight. And once I had the whole torso assembled, this is where it started to feel like this whole thing was not gonna work. Unrelated, I recently got myself a Patreon, and if that's something you're into, there's a link down below. If it's not something you're into, maybe you can just share this video or something. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Back to the build. Anyway, I took this sheet of plywood and I drilled a 1 inch hole in it, and then I could squeeze it in between these 2 couplings. This just gives me a platform to attach my motor to. This is a windshield wiper motor from Fright Props. They're not a sponsor or anything, but I will forever tell people to go check out frightprops.com if you are interested in making Halloween DIY builds. They have everything you could possibly need. Go check them out. Alright, so my first mistake was attaching this motor to the back of the plywood instead of the side. I think with the idea that I had, it would have worked, but you're going to see right here why it didn't. Now, like I said, I had no access to my workshop. I think if I had been able to get into there, I could have made this work, but I wanted to cut a slot down the middle of this piece of PVC. And then on the spinning arm of the motor, I was going to attach a bolt with a long nylon spacer. This spacer would have been able to slide back and forth inside of that slot as the motor spun. And I think it would have made my person look right and left. But I could not get a nice clean slot inside of this PVC. I even tried taking this metal pipe and flattening it and then cutting a slot in that, but like I said, I just didn't have the tools accessible to make this happen. So I got frustrated and I went to bed. The next morning I got up and I had a totally new plan. I took the motor off and I mounted it to the side of that piece of plywood instead of the back. Now at this point I still thought I was going to be using PVC for all of this, so this is the general idea right here. It's 3 swaying arms, so you have the one that connects to your motor, one that connects to the prop, and then a small piece in the middle, and that helps it all rotate and push and pull. Alright, here's the final setup. It took me a while to figure this out, but you have to come from the side with this so it's pushing back and forth rather than in and out, because this is not going to go forward and back. I don't know what I was thinking. I attached it there. This is a little piece of aluminum I had. I ran it here, and I needed it to be the same height. This gap needs to be the same here. So I just had this nylon washer and some nuts and stuff to just make this work. I don't really care because you're never going to see this. It's going to be, the back is going to be to a wall. I'm going to dress the front. So when you plug it in, This is loose, like I said before. And let me show you what it does when it's plugged in.
Gets on the ground.
Get down with your bad self.
Attaching the motor to the side allows it to push and pull rather than try to push and pull against the front of it, which is mounted. If I was gonna redo this prop, I think what I would do is make that platform a little bigger on the side so that this guy would look further right to left than he does at this point. But I'm getting to a point at decorating for this party that I just need to move forward and let this go. But next year, I do plan on making a little side spot where I can attach this motor so I can get a wider back and forth. Pool noodles are out of season at this point, so I used this pipe insulation that I had and just zip tied that and taped it around this guy's shoulders to just build him out a little bit. And I had this perfect head and hand for this. One of my least favorite parts about making any of these builds is adding chicken wire. I don't know why, I just find it very annoying. Anyway, I just folded it, crimped it, whatever I needed to shape it, and zip tied it on. It does work great. I just find it very irritating for some reason. I had this blue shirt that I put over the front of him, and then I just cut up the back of it so that it wouldn't get all caught inside the motor. I had a pair of boots that I didn't need anymore, so I drilled a hole through the bottom of them, and then I could just hammer some rebar through the boots and down into the ground. I love this effect because you get to have the boots at the bottom and you can't really see how he's standing up, so it just gives it a more realistic look. I slid his pants up onto his stickly little body, and then I zip tied him up so they wouldn't fall down. Then I took this piece of black fabric and I just draped it over the top of his head and down over his shoulders. I zip tied it around his neck so it wouldn't fall off, and there we go. With this build finally done, it was time to move on to the most important part of any Halloween DIY, the lighting. I'm working with a company called On For You for this video, and they sent me these lights to try out. When I opened the box, I saw I had 6 lights and 3 controllers. I still haven't labeled these lights and controllers, which isn't necessary, but if you're anything like me, you're gonna shove all of these into a drawer and you're not gonna know which controller controls which light. So I suggest you just throw a little label on the back of these so you have it for future projects. But besides that, this setup was extremely easy. I plugged these in and they turned on automatically. The remote lets you change the color, set patterns, or even create your own DIY strobe or fade or whatever you're looking to do. You can dim them right here on the remote, and you can even set a timer, which is perfect if you have a display that you want to have on overnight, but you don't want to waste the power or you want it to turn off in the middle of the night. Obviously, I'm using these for a Halloween display, but I'm already thinking about what I can do with these at Christmas time. Actually, I'm even using them for this shot right here. They're small and super bright, so they're easy to hide on a shelf or behind whatever prop you happen to be lighting up, which is perfect for me. I'm gonna leave a link down in my description so you can go check them out. Huge thank you to On For You for sending these over, because this lighting is about to make this animatronic come alive. I didn't get the full movement that I was hoping for with this, but I absolutely love this prop. When you come into the haunted house, it'll be the first thing that you see, and there's just something real cool about the jitteriness of it. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I think I have like 2 or 3 more Halloween videos coming out, but we'll see if I have time. If not, I'll just put them out in November. Stick around for the next one or whatever. You know the deal. Love you, bye.
Bye, see you again, and have a good dream.